Another important thing in the statistic is a quantile. So what is quantile? Quantile is one of the class of values of a variate that divides the total frequency of the sample or population into the given number of equal proportions. The n minus 1 variate values which divide the total frequency into n equal parts. What are the examples of quantile is percentile, it can be decile, it can be quartile, it can be quintile. So basically whenever you have certain number of observations, you break it into equal number of parts that you define as a quantile. So median is also a quantile that breaks all the data set into two. Similarly, decile is a quantile that breaks the data into 10 equal parts. Similarly with the quartile, when it breaks data into 4 equal parts. Percentile is at every percent. So when I say 10 percentile, that means 10% at one side and rest 90 at the other side. Okay, so these are definitions. So whenever we have a quanta of 100, there are 100 breakups, that's percentile. Whenever we have a breakup of 10 equal sets, that's decile. Whenever we have 5, we have quintiles, and we have 4, that is called quartile. So most of the times we deal with the quartiles, and we sometimes deal with the percentile. So in this we'll see some of the commands which gives you how to calculate the quartile numbers, and in general also how can you calculate the quantile. Percentile is the kth percentile is a scalar value of data series equal to the p by 100 quantile. So first percentile cuts off lower 1% of the data, 98 cuts the lowest 98% of the data. The 25 percentile is the first quantile, and as I said 50 percentile, which basically cuts the data into two equal set of observations, is the median. Decile represents 1/10 of the total population. The first decile cuts off the lower 10% of the data. Ninth decile cuts off the lowest 90% of the data. Quartiles. Quantile is different from quartile. So quantile is in general. Quartile comes from the quarter. Basically it's a distribution into 4 equal part. So when I say I'm on the lower quartile, that means it represents a 25 percentile, and the first 25% of the data points falls into the lower quartile. Similarly, median is 50 and the upper quartile is 75 percentile. Quintiles, true. So this is a typical chart. This is how the normal distribution or any data distribution looks like. So any value which is at the center is mean. So as I was telling you in the beginning, right, the centrality is the mean median mode, and the dispersion or the shift from the center comes from the variance or standard deviation, and this is the overall distribution. This is a very generic, let's not go into the formula unless we read through what is normal distribution and different type of distributions, but this is how a data distribution looks like. So the next we will quickly see range, and then we will move to the more significant form of statistics, which is variability, variance in the data. Range is how far from the biggest to smallest. So when you go to a shopkeeper, you ask that do you have a cell phone, then he will ask, yeah, I have a cell phone. Then you might ask a question that what's the range of cell phone that you have. So he can have a cell phones which is ranging from 5,000 to let's say 50,000 rupees. So range is 5 to 50. That's how we define a range. And how far is the largest is from the smallest is 50 minus 5, which is 45. So 45 is the range of that mobile shop data. So steps is put the numbers in order, take the smallest number from the largest. So let's say class shoe size, and then we would like to know what is the shoe size range of the class. Then we put them into the order, 6 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and we subtract and we get the range, which is 5. Variance and standard deviation. Variance is a measure of how data points differ from the mean, or how far they are from the mean. So let's see with an example. So there is a data set 1 which is having 3, 5, 7, 10, 10. There's a 5 values, and there's a bottom data set 2, which is having 5 values again with all 7s. What is the mean and median for data set 1 and 2? They are same. All the central measures are same. But does this data looks the same? No. So we need a statistic that defines the variability in the data, and that variability comes from variance and standard deviation. Okay, how to calculate variance?